Hey guys, it's the Whiffy at Blue Unicorn Gaming, and I got some news for you on Torchlight 3. This morning, it was announced that Torchlight 3 will be released on October 13th for PC, ps4, and Xbox One, and in the future, it will be coming to Switch at some point this year. At this time, there's no defined date on that yet. The pricing for Torchlight 3 is going to be $40, which I feel is a very fair price for the game. It's a very good game, but I don't feel like it's worth that $60 AAA price tag. $40, very much worth it in its current form. I'm very happy to see that price tag. I'm very happy to have a release date now that we can actually settle on and figure out how we're going to be playing the game. Now, at this point in time, there's been no information about crossplay or cross-save. However, I am assuming that there will be crossplay until further notice. This game is a game that would benefit greatly from having a level of crossplay. However, there is one system in which I don't believe crossplay will work that well in, and that would be the Nintendo Switch. The Nintendo Switch, for games like Warframe, for example, are not crossplay with any other system. Warframe has a delayed update of usually about 2 to 3 days between when it gets a new update released and when the Switch gets an update released. And I'm assuming Torchlight will have a similar thing due to Nintendo's strict testing phase, I believe, with their games. Also with this news, we were told from the development team that there will be a gear luck increase based on your difficulty. Now, this is something I've been advocating for in many of my videos recently, and this is something that's finally coming back. I understand it's gone in the early access phase. However, having this back is fantastic, and I can't wait to see this in game, because right now I play on ridiculous difficulty and I don't feel like I'm getting the proper loot for it. So now the story of Torchlight 3 takes place 100 years after the events of Torchlight 2, with the Ember Empire on the verge of collapse. Your role is to gather your wits, get out in the frontier, and try and save the world, just like every other game, right? Except for this is much more fast-paced. This game is going to test you, especially when it comes to how you play an ARPG. Now, this is nowhere near as hardcore as an ARPG as, say, Diablo 2, where the difficulty is very high, it's a very strong game, Path of Exile, you're not going to be clearing massive screens, but the game is very difficult and is also catered to both experienced and new players to the genre. I personally can't wait to play this game when it fully releases. I've been playing it all through early access, and I'm very pumped in all the changes they've been making and intend to be making in the future. So in this game, you have 4 classes and 5 relic subclasses. Each subclass helps further define your main class. Each of the classes are as follows. You have your Dusk Mage, you have Forged, you have Railmaster, you have Sharpshooter. Each of these plays different than the other. Dusk Mage is an enchantress that uses both light and dark power to create very strong abilities and a few different buffs. Dusk Mage has recently gone through some changes, so excuse me if my knowledge of Dusk Mage is not as good as it used to be. Forged is a powerful melee robot, which also is more of a sword and board style fighter, but also has some ranged abilities. Railmaster creates a train or uses heavy attacks to obliterate his enemies. I personally play Railmaster and I love that class. That feels the absolute best to me. Sharpshooter is your typical ranged fighter. Sharpshooter uses a bow, guns, to try and take out enemies from afar. Your relics that can really make your class unique are Bane, Blood Drinker, Cold Heart, Electrode, and Flaming Destroyer. Bane is more your summoning and poisoning, where Blood Drinker gives you HP regen and bleeds. Cold Heart does a lot of knockback, slows, and crowd control, whereas Electrode does a lot of paralyzing. Flaming Destroyer is more of an AoE based relic that does fire damage and burns over time. In the next few releases of my videos, you guys will be seeing more about each individual class as well as each individual relic, and going over all the stats for each and what that means for you as the player when you're picking your relics for the first time. And I want you to remember, your relics cannot be changed. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, hit that subscribe button down below and hit that like button for me. It really helps me understand if you like my content. And also leave a comment down below letting me know what you think of this. I know I cannot wait to play Torchlight 3 when it comes out in full release. I've been playing it in early access since I believe June-ish. And I can't wait for the full release of it to see how it plays, especially if there's crossplay with the Xbox, ps4, and PC versions of the game. That would be fantastic. Remember, Torchlight 3 comes out on October 13th, 7 a.m. Pacific time. Hope to see you in the game, and as always, keep on gaming.